Hi.
Georgina, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Great to see you again.
Good to see you too.
I'm fixing, we got to adjust everything. It's like, what's happening here with the.
I know. Connection and all these things. I'm sure you're killing it though. You must like know, you got this down now.
Well, somewhat. I mean, it's still grabbing the light and then the kids tripping over the cord right before, it's
Yes.
always hit or miss every time. How's mommyhood?
Yes.
How's mommyhood going for you right now?
It's going okay. She's good. Like, it's just keeping them occupied, like, and lots of walks and we're just making it work. Mark actually just took her out to blow bubbles and stuff because it's just too loud. But it's good. It's a really fun age. 2.5 is very fun.
2.5. And is she stationary or does she already start crawling and moving? What is she doing now? Is she already
Oh,
walking?
she's like a full human. Yeah, she
Oh,
walks, she's running, she's
okay.
yeah, oh yeah, all that. She's free
She's
free around the house. Like, yeah.
It's funny because mine are now 10 and 6, so I'm forgetting what age was it again that once you put them down, like they're off and running? Because when they're small,
Yeah.
you can kind of contain them for a while, like in a little, we called it baby jail, is what we used to call it. It was like the little crate. So,
Yeah, yeah. I guess 6 months is when she started crawling, and then she walked just before one, and then yeah, she's off to the races now.
off and running. Well, she is so cute. I've seen photos of her. So,
Thank you.
oh, Georgina, last night's episode of The Baker and the Beauty, so many fans are like, what just happened? I mean, so
Yeah.
many angles with the episode, but an emotional one for you and Dan's character, Lewis, when he was revealing
Yeah.
his diagnosis to you.
Yeah, it was a very emotional night. I feel like I can't believe there's only 3 episodes left because I feel like
Yeah.
we're really getting into a lot of things right now and the drama is really heating up. Yeah, it was a very emotional one. That scene, it's so interesting in TV. You have to deliver things very quickly in moments as an actor. When sometimes in movies you might get more time. You might get like a good chunk of time. So that scene where Dan tells me what's going on. Sorry, the cat is like pushing up
That's okay.
against the bottom of
Hey,
the thing.
bring the cat in the shot. This is IG Live. It's cool.
As soon as Penelope leaves the house, he comes out or goes to sleep or
Oh,
takes a nap. He knows it's his time.
yeah,
Um,
no worries.
they're getting along a bit better. This is Louie. This
Hey,
is Louie
Louie.
O'Brien.
Oh, look at him.
Oh.
Louie O'Brien.
Um,
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, you don't get a lot of that scene is like 3 scenes in one because Dan and I, we're doing business and we're talking about this thing and then now he tells me that and it's finding all those moments so quickly. And it's very emotional. Dan is superb. I think it's my favorite episode, Dan. I know there's still more to come and he has so many more great moments, but just even when he was mad at Noah, there's just so much bubbling underneath it and his frustration and not feeling well. And I thought that he just did an excellent performance.
Yeah, and the connection you guys have just as actors, but the characters on this show, I know they lean on each other, but your chemistry, I've said it before, you and Dan have this chemistry that is just really just awesome to watch. I mean, we feel
Oh,
it,
thanks.
even you asking or your character asking, can I hug you? It was just like, because
That
he's
was a me
guarded.
thing. That wasn't in the script, actually. That was just one
Really?
of those. Yeah, because that's one of those scenes that you kind of just gotta like fall through a little bit at the time of what makes sense. And I really was just meant to be present with however Dan, it's his moment. And
Yes.
however Dan wanted to play that. And I kind of just went off of him and I tried to hug him the first time and he didn't want to. So then at the end of the scene, I was like, I asked him and it worked out as a great moment. I'm so glad they kept it in because you just never know on the day you do these things and you know.
And
Hi everybody.
yeah, look at everybody's joining. Okay, we have some people from Romania. They're saying hello. I have to say, Georgina, you have a group of fans that are just really diehard. I mean, they follow you and they adore you from like your early projects to this one. That's gotta feel so good.
That's so nice. I mean, that's your audience. That's why you work. So I think all the support and acknowledgement and the people who have made accounts and put together these awesome edits and they do a lot of work for me. Like I have all this
Yes.
promo that like I'm like, great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that people feel inspired. I mean, that's what art's about, right? That's telling stories and making people experience things. So I'm very lucky in that way.
So aside from your storyline, which is a great one in itself, what other storyline are you excited to play out through this season?
I'm really just the whole family. It's such an interesting discussion going on between like for Daniel and like his own life and then being responsible to your family and where do you find that balance and whose
Right.
side? It's so interesting. I don't know whose side were you on last night. Do you think Daniel should be doing what he wants and following his dreams, or do you think he has a responsibility to his family? So,
Yeah, I know. You know, for me personally, I mean, family is everything to me, but I get the whole dreams, but I feel like when you have everything right with your family, the dreams kind of happen. That's just my opinion, but
100%.
is
Yeah,
that what
it's
you
a
think too?
balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance. Hi
Yeah.
from Toronto, originally Newfoundland. Oh, hi.
You're
Um,
like,
my husband's from Newfoundland. I love Newfoundland. Um,
beautiful.
yeah, I'm really excited to see just how the family unfolds and how it works out, and because I obviously am not in any of those scenes, so it's
Hmm.
fun for me watching the show because those worlds are pretty separate from my
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
And Noah has a point, and Daniel sort of has a point, but everyone has a viewpoint. I think it's a testament to the writers how they've not made anybody really the bad guy. It's just how does everybody balance this together?
It's like a difference of opinion is what it is,
Yes,
really.
yeah, but no one's like it's not clear. It's not clear who's completely
Right
wrong.
or wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's
Yeah.
funny because when you're doing your posts, sometimes you'll throw like a flashback photo to being on set. And one of them had me laugh because it had the character of Piper kind of pondering off, and you're like, I think she's thinking about ceviche after work.
I was. The character wasn't, but I probably was.
You were. That food in Puerto Rico. I mean, you guys really had mofongo and everything that just kind
Oh,
of makes that,
mofongo.
you know.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm like trying to use this time to like work off my mofongo.
The mofongo diet. Oh man, that stuff's addictive. Oh yeah, I
It's
know.
so good, and my coffee's running low. I had a massive bag of Puerto Rican coffee, and now it's running low, and I need to text the camera department and figure out where I can get my next fix.
Your next shipment. Oh yeah, absolutely. So you know what's interesting? I was watching Lisa Vidal. She had an interview that she did with the incredible showrunner Gloria Calderon Kellett, and they were talking about what is the future of shooting shows like The Baker and the Beauty and other shows like One Day at a Time and all those shows. And they were saying, would a cast be comfortable being quarantined amongst themselves in a remote location? Like, say, for you guys, say when season 2 gets announced, because I know it's going to happen, it's got to happen. I just feel it. So when it gets announced, would you guys be comfortable going to another country, quarantined together, and filming? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's each to their own. I understand why people wouldn't be comfortable with that. I trust the people making the decisions for us. I trust that they wouldn't want to put their cast because it's going to be more of a problem for them to put us at risk. So I think people are being really smart and really looking at how this can be done in our industry because it is a tough industry in that way. But we're also a very organized industry. Like sets are very well organized. They're
Mhm.
run very well. Your
Yes.
AD, your director and assistant director systems are so and I think that our industry can still we can still work under these conditions. It just has to be protocol. But like I'm saying, normally when there's protocol in our work, it's pretty well followed. I would feel okay with it. Like I'd have to get all the information at the time, but I love what I do and I think art's important and I think as long as I'm not putting anybody at risk and as long
Yeah.
as we're doing it as a group, I think that I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I think, yeah,
It's
that would be
tough to
my
think
answer.
about
I'd
because you're
go.
not there. You're not there at the moment, so it's tough to think that way. But it's interesting where it could go.
Yes, obviously, as a mother, like traveling for work is never easy.
I know.
And I was a recurring, so I was in and out a lot. So it's very different when you go and you live somewhere full time and you get to set up a bit more. That's also difficult for your family. I have a husband who's also in the industry and he's not
Yes.
necessarily coming with me for the
Hmm.
whole time. So, there's definitely pros and cons. I like shooting on location. I love traveling. But then to work at home, which is not a common thing in Los Angeles as much as it used to
Oh,
be,
I know.
I'd be very happy to do that too.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you leave your options open. As far as the cast, are you guys texting a lot or keeping in contact?
Oh, yeah,
Considering you're not able to do press together, it's all
I
remote.
know. We text all the time. We have a group text and it's all the time, and it's
Yeah.
really fun and positive, and yeah, we're all in communication. And Dan and I do lives. I mean, we did one by accident yesterday, actually. I turned it on to help him figure out something, and then we ended up in a live that actually was pretty successful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we ended up I went with it. I was testing something out, and then people started showing up. So I was like, I'll just stay. I'll just
Might
deal with it.
might as well. It's funny because sometimes you don't know which buttons you're pushing. I've done the same thing where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to save my live, and I'm pushing it, and then all of a sudden it's flashing live, and you have people watching. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I wasn't even ready for that. What happened?
I know. And it's so funny because live before COVID was like not really something I was never particularly interested in it, and no one really did it that much. And now
Right.
it is just like the thing that, everybody's on a live somewhere, and it's nice. Everyone's communicating and promoting and doing their thing. It's cool.
It is very cool. So, can we talk about your husband for a minute? Because I know you are such a big fan. Her husband, everyone, is Mark O'Brien, and he was in many things, and he's directing. But he was in this movie recently called Goalie, and it came out, I know, earlier this year, I
Mhm.
believe, right at the beginning of the year. What I thought was
Mhm.
sweet, Georgina, is that you put on one of your Instagram posts that he has been your favorite co-star of all the projects you're doing. That was
Mhm.
really sweet. I'm serious. He's a
Oh,
lucky guy.
thanks.
It's true.
Thank you. I
Mhm.
worry sometimes. I'm like, are people sick of us? But I mean it. It's
Oh,
it's it's a genuine thing. He's my best friend. So to work with him, and he inspires me a lot. He shows me. I love movies and I watch them a lot, but I've learned so much from him. He shows me all the best movies, and he's always reading like two books at a time on film, and he's a big mentor in that way for me as well.
yeah.
And I love working with him, and he's really fun. So I mean, that's why I said yes when he asked me to marry him. But yeah.
You said, sure, I'll do it. So what do you think of this movie Goalie, though? It was released at the beginning of the year, and with,
Mhm.
quarantine and everything, how has that been? Has it been tough to get that out there, or
Well,
explain the movie to
came
people who
out.
don't know?
Goalie was out on. We did have a small theater release in the States at the end of. Oh my gosh, I can't even keep straight with my timeline. But it came out on digital and everything in February.
Okay.
So it was out digitally then anyway. So that wasn't really. I mean, you can watch it. You can watch it now on iTunes and
Yeah.
wherever else, and you can enjoy it. I mean, it's not an enjoyable movie per se. It's kind of dark, but it's a biopic, and if you're into hockey, and it's yeah, it was a great experience to do together, and he's incredible in it. He's really transformed. If you know Mark, he's not a quiet, introverted kind of dude, and Terry
Mhm.
Sawchuk definitely was. And Mark's performance is amazing. He's actually nominated for a Canadian Screen Award for it. So
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, it's he is intense, and it is a true story. So those are always ones that you can really get behind because this really happened.
yeah,
But he's bloody. I mean, he plays a goalie. So I mean,
yeah.
and your scenes with him are pretty intense. I mean, it's amazing
Oh,
because you
thanks. Yeah.
transform yourself too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and he did all his stunts. Like we didn't have a person. Like he did all the hockey. He loves playing hockey.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it was it's an intense movie, but we had a really fun time filming it.
Cool.
I know it sounds weird because it's
No.
dark, but
Yeah, it's the way the sets go. So
yeah.
okay, next episode. I mean, I know you can't say much. All of you have to really keep your mouths shut about not
Mhm.
spoiling things. But anything you can give us about, gosh, Noah's decision. I mean, she's really kind of, she doesn't want to hurt Daniel and his family, but then she wants to keep him because they're in a relationship. So I don't know. Anything you can give us for the next episode?
Well, I mean, you know who's behind this whole takedown, right?
Yes,
So
yes, I do.
that's going to be that's a really fun character who you're going
Okay,
to get to meet.
okay.
And that's definitely got a lot of history in it. And you're learning more about Noah because Noah's pretty private. We don't know a
Hmm.
lot about Noah's life that much. We know about her mother, but we don't
Yes.
know about her dad and that relationship. You're going to see that unfold. And I think that's really exciting. And also, you get to see a businesswoman like it's a great storyline. You have this powerful woman who's a boss babe and like running her own
Yeah,
company, and what
yeah.
she can come up against just because of some scrutiny over something that she's entitled to live her life, and why is it anybody's business, and why would that be used to take away from her company. So you'll see all that unfold, which I think is cool.
Very cool. And I don't want to ignore people who are tuning in. Somebody mentioned about Murdoch. Um, they, it's funny. People are really, really into it. And you have your Georgina fan club. But yeah, it says how many? It says about Emily and
Percentage you
Murdoch.
like Emily.
Yeah,
I don't know what percentage. I enjoyed playing her. Like I'd say I 100% liked her at the time that I was doing her. She's great. I think that's the
yeah.
question. Yeah, it's Murdoch Mysteries, which is actually going to season 14, and my friends are doing so well. I left the show quite a while, but the fan base is very passionate and strong, and I've been asked if I'd come back, and I definitely would. Hi from Brazil. Hi
Brazil.
Brazil.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Speaking of wild times, I love seeing all the video of Lisa Vidal dancing and singing. I mean, she is just
All
a
day.
dynamo. I mean, wow. How do you
Yeah.
guys keep it together without just busting up and dancing during scenes? I just don't
Well, they
understand.
don't. I mean, you see it, and no one, there's no stopping that. That is just going to
Yeah,
happen, and then they'll call action, and then she's a pro, and she'll just get right to it and be
brings it
amazing.
in.
And yeah, she's amazing. I would love if there was a season 2. I'd love Piper to cross more like with the family. That would be a fun thing, you
Yeah,
know.
I would love to see that too. I mean, there's so much that can go on with season 2. I mean, and it's interesting, just the fan base that has been really backing this show. I just feel like the momentum's there and the timing's right. So I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for you guys. You guys are
Thank
such a
you.
great, just a cast that really cares and just personable, which I've found over the last several months interviewing all of you. So it's really
Oh,
great.
awesome. Yeah, I think so too. I think everyone's really wonderful, and yeah, I think there's so much more to come. Like we're so close to the end of season 1 that it's like a season 2 is just needed. Like there's so many more things to get into.
Absolutely. Well, I bet you Mark is probably at the door with your little cutie. They're back from their walk,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Can we come in yet?"
I said I'd text. Pray
Oh,
for season 2. Thank you.
yeah, exactly. You're like, I gotta get to them. Well, Georgina, it's always fun talking to you, and I appreciate you taking the time to spend it with all of us here.
Thank you so much. I love talking to you too. Your lives are great, and I hope that I'll check out some more this week. And yeah, next week it's a good episode, and then you have the week out, and then it's over. So
Gosh. And that's when it leaves all the audiences going, "We want more." So let's hope ABC hears that.
yes, let's hope that.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Well,
bye from me and Louie.
oh, bye, Louie.
Say
Oh,
bye, Louie.
bye,
He's
Louie.
like, oh my God.
He's over it. All right, Georgina, great seeing you as always, and we'll see you next time,
Great
okay?
to see you too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again for watching. I'm Marco Gonzalez, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Take care.